When I do my music, I really think about Hollywood. When I do my filming, I think about Hollywood. I think about the quality that Hollywood is pushing out, the quality that anything you watch on TV, anytime we're trying to sell something, we want to represent a comparable quality or value. It's kind of like when you go somewhere to get food. If you go somewhere to get food and they don't have good quality, you're probably not going to come back. It's the same thing when it comes to music. I am a Christian hip hop producer and artist, and I want to help others get to where I am. So, quality is one of the number one things that I look at. I believe that if you listen to music that's on the radio nowadays, people are being brought in and attracted. People are attracted to the quality of the music, the quality of the filming. And so that has a lot to do with equipment. That also has a lot to do with the whole production of it. And so that's why when it comes to my recording, my mixing, my equipment, whether it be investing in better cameras, investing in better microphones. This is something that you have to take into consideration. Something that you have to take very seriously. Okay. Some people do music for a season, and they do it for a little while, then they stop doing it. Or some people just want everything to be kind of a push button, just like an easy push button. Just do it, and it's just push a button and it's done. And I want to say that mixing is probably one of the most strenuous or difficult, stressful things when it comes to music. There's different ways, just like there's different ways to film, there's different ways to do music. A lot of people nowadays just really kind of like copy and paste, if you want to say that. They kind of just push out music. Nowadays you have websites where you can pretty much go in and take parts of other songs and build your own song from different parts of a song. And I'm glad that they have made it easier for, upcoming artists to be creative on their own. But that's not the way I do it. I like for my stuff to be unique to me. I like to have my own sound. And so that a lot of wanting to be able to create your own sound and do everything from scratch by yourself has a lot to do with investing in yourself and taking courses. When I do music, I don't just try to just do a song. I hear too many people that they just make a song and that's what it sounds like. It sounds like they just made a song. It doesn't sound. It almost sounds like just like it's just a bunch of noise. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. But what I'm saying is what I like to do in my music is tell a story. So typically, instead of me trying to rush and hurry up and make another song or make another album, my thing is about me giving you experiences or me telling you a story about something that's on my heart or something similar. So that's what I try to do. I'm not just making a song. I'm giving you something from the heart. It's poetry. All right, so it's poetry, and it's also a stress relief. So, things that we go through things every day, and you have a voice, you have a story to tell, and there's a lot of times when your best friend, or I don't want to say your best friends or your family or whoever it is, people that you would rely on, sometimes they might not listen to you. They might not agree with you. They might not understand you. God always will. And one thing, and there's always somebody out there that can relate to what you are going through as well. So when I make my music, when I do put out content, I'm not trying to reach everybody, because I know that everybody is not going to relate to what I'm going through or what I'm posting. So what I do is I try to reach people that are going through what I'm going through, people that can relate to what I'm going through. So in doing that, in doing so, you will reach more people. You will reach your audience. Instead of trying to reach and win the favor of everybody, just try to find people that are like you. It might only be one person in that crowd, but that one person is the one you wanted to touch. Like, because you just think about it, if that one person, if you can find that one person may have a connection with a whole lot of other people that are just like them. So it's kind of like that. It might be 90 people, 90% of the people that do not like your music. You think about it, you got country music, you got jazz music, you got rock music, you got all these different genres of music, and not everybody likes every genre. So you're not trying to reach everybody, you're just trying to reach those that are interested in what you're doing, those that can relate to what you're doing, those who are going through a similar walk in life or have went through that similar walk. And also, I look at it as it's an art. Music, filming, anything that I do, even if it's my hobby, it is an art. So that's why I love to do it, because it's something that I'm passionate about doing. It's not something that I'm just doing to make a buck. If I didn't make a dime off of what I do, it wouldn't matter to me. I would still do it because it's something that's on the inside of me. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this a long time. I've been doing this since I was a teenager, so pretty much all my life. And really actually before I was a teenager, because I have pictures of me on stage at church holding a microphone in my hand, giving a performance. And it was really just like a skit, a Christmas play. We used to do it every year, like a Christmas, I don't want to say a play, but like it's like a skit, I guess, that you, a poem or a reading that you have to do. And so we used to do that every year. We had to memorize it. And it just really trips me out how smart I was back then. You know, and I don't really memorize things now. I like writing stuff down on paper. So, but yeah, nowadays I gotta drink my caffeine and stuff. But you know, I was very brilliant back then, and so that's something that has always been inside of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't take that from me, because it was something that was always there. Even when I was young, coming up as a child, music was something that was always going on in our household. So I grew up connecting through music, connecting through TV, entertainment, video games, whatever, but music was the main thing. Music, barbecues, dominoes. And so just being able to connect with other people through music, sharing that experience that I had as a child, it's kind of like my language. You know what I'm saying? It's the way that I connect. It's the way that I share my emotion or share what's going on the inside of me. You know what I'm saying? So not only coming up as a child in music, but even when I became a teenager, I started doing freestyle rap. Was kind of like one of the first things that we really started doing. But we were always listening to music. It was just, music was the thing down here in Texas. Like, that was the thing. And so, music is the thing pretty much anywhere. It's just different genres of it. And like I say, it is an art. When you do music, it is an art. And my art, when you look at a painting and you look at your art, or if you're creating a video game or whatever it is, you're not just making something real quick to throw it out. You're spending a lot of time, and you want to put out quality. You want to put out perfection. And I mean, there's kind of no such thing as perfection, but if you can get 99.99999% there, that's perfection. That's what I shoot for. That's what I shoot for. And I feel like, as well as perfecting your art, anytime I put out content, this is why I'm not in a hurry to put out content. Anytime I'm putting out content, I feel like I'm building my brand. So when you put out quality content, that is going to draw in more people. You think about stuff that's on TV. Little do y'all know, because I'm in school for this, but little do y'all know the cameras that they use in Hollywood and these films that y'all watch on TV are anywhere from $20,000 cameras to $85,000 cameras, and probably higher than that. Okay, so people are so infatuated and drawn in because of, like, wow, it's amazing. It's the quality. So somebody that is a local nobody, somebody that's on the bottom, somebody that's trying to start from the bottom and create on my own. You see what I'm saying? All by myself. You have to invest. You have to look at what Hollywood is doing. You have to look at what the big record labels are doing. And you have to find out how you can get the quality and do what they're doing on your budget. And sometimes you have to go out of your budget. There's a lot of things that I didn't want to spend money on, but I knew that quality was very, very important. It's longevity. 30 years from now, if you put out, you think about, as I've said this before, but you go to the gas station, you're in the elevator, wherever it is, you hear songs from 30 years ago and further than that. This song is 20, 30 years old, and it's still being played, and it still sounds like a #1 hit, because it wasn't just a song. It wasn't just something that they just threw out there. You see what I'm saying? So what is the point of creating and releasing 16 songs or releasing a film if it's just something that you just rush to do? And you want it to look like Hollywood, but it doesn't look like Hollywood because you haven't invested into the gear. You haven't researched the gear. You haven't researched the equipment. So I'm in school for this stuff, and this is what I'm saying. Like, you have to make that investment. You have to invest in yourself. If this is something that you're serious about doing, you have to invest in yourself. We spend, $1,000 on a cell phone. We'll spend $1,000 on a TV. But when it comes to studio equipment, microphones, computers, preamplifiers, camera gear, cameras, whatever it is, lighting, we don't want to invest that same type of money into those resources. So that's why I say some people do it for a season and then they stop. Some people just want to ride the wave because that's what everybody else is doing. Or, they think that they can just push a button and it's some type of overnight success. And they say it takes 10 years to do that. So if you're trying to, and to be honest, just for me to get to where I'm at now, it probably did take about 10 or 15 years, if not longer. So while we're thinking that we can, a record label they can blow you up overnight because they've already achieved their overnight success. They've already been doing this, so they can blow you up overnight. But when you're doing it on your own and you're trying to build on your own, you typically have to build all by yourself, and you have to learn things. It might take you 10 years to learn everything. It's trial and error. So I like to help and inspire others, whether it be through my music, whether it be through my YouTube content. I like to help people, but at the same time, people have to want to help themselves. You have to be willing to invest in yourself. If you're serious about what you do, you're not always going to be looking for handouts and looking for somebody to do it for you. I'm one of those people. If I see somebody building a house, I'm not going to be like, hey, man, I'm not going to go to them and say, hey, man, can you build me a house? I'm going to be like, hey, man, like, I'm going to want to know how I can do it myself. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to rely on somebody else to build me a house or make me a car or whatever it is. Because if that person, let's say that person moves somewhere else, or that person dies, grows old and dies, or whatever it is, you're relying on them. It's a lot of, if you look at the music industry, there's a lot of extremely successful artists that were on top of their game, but they were signed to a label, or they had somebody, mixing and mastering for them and doing their composition and doing their recordings and whatever it was. And when whoever it was or whatever group of people had a fallout or ceased to exist, whatever it was, whatever reason they split up or stopped doing music, this artist or these artists no longer can do anything. Their careers are gone. I'm talking about talented artists. And that's the thing. We're so stuck on wanting to have fun and go out and chill with friends and do this, that. We want to be CEOs, but we don't want to do CEO work. So we want CEO money in our pocket, but we don't want to put in that work. We don't want to learn how to mix and master from scratch. It's so many different things. We don't want to learn how to film from scratch. So if you're going to pay somebody to film a video for you, that could be anywhere from, let's say $1,500 and up. $1,500 to $5,000 and up. So I'm talking about like really good quality filming. Somebody with a really good high quality camera and they really actually know how to film or shoot videos. Or even you got people that pay people to come shoot their weddings, take pictures for their weddings. Like, if you're gonna pay somebody, I don't care if it's even $200, $500, $300, you can take that money and invest it and save it and put that toward your own business. So if you're gonna spend $800 or $1,500 or $5,000 for somebody to come film your wedding, I see so many people do it. I hired a professional person to come film my wedding. And it's like, I've had so many people that, they look down on someone like me and not knowing that the person that you call a professional was once like me. I think being yourself is extremely important. Be unique. You have a fingerprint that's like nobody else's, and be unique to that. Like, when you put out, everybody sounds the same on the radio. Like, even when you send your music to these playlists that you have to get approved to be on their playlists and stuff like that, like, they want you to sound like what's on the radio. That's not my thing. I want to sound like me. And now, like I say, there's nothing you should be keeping up with, kind of like time. You should be keeping up with time. You don't want to sound like you're still recording stuff on a record, when CDs are the thing now. Well, really, CDs are not. But What I'm saying is quality. I think the most important thing is quality. I don't think it matters about your sound. You have to be unique to what your sound is. Now, there are things that, we follow in the industry, certain criteria, but I still believe that it all boils down to quality and being yourself. So when I create music, this is what I do. I'm giving you poetry. I'm spilling my heart out to you. This is why I don't just release content when it comes to something that I want to something that I want to last a lifetime.